Hello, everyone. It's time to listen. I hope you're having a great day. I still need help in getting these videos. Somebody's going to help me one day to get this right. I just want to talk a little bit today about self-evaluation. Sometimes we look at other people and we see their issues, their struggles, their faults, or what have you, but we really don't look at our own, and sometimes we don't even consider that we do have some issues. And I just want to talk a little bit about that. 2 Corinthians, let me see if I can find this. 2 Corinthians 13:5. It says, examine yourself to see whether you are in the faith. Test yourselves. Do you not realize that Christ Jesus is in you? Unless, of course, you failed the test. And so in that, it's kind of like it was a time where he had sent the letters out and Paul was talking to the people about some of the issues they were having in their congregations and, in their little community. So we have to re-examine ourselves. And sometimes I do that often because I always want to make sure that if something is going on in my life, I want to know what my issue is, or what was my role in something that may have gone wrong, or a conflict, or what have you. Because I think it's important to see that within ourselves, and sometimes we don't. Sometimes we look at people and we kind of measure them up, and we make assumptions about who they are, what's going on in their life, and we could be very wrong. It's good to know people, to get to know people, and not trying to find all the wrong in them and then go home and talk about someone or what have you, but actually getting to know someone. And Yah holds us accountable of how we treat people. We can't control how people treat us, but he holds us accountable on how we treat others. And sometimes it's something within us that we need to fix, we need to correct. It's not always easy, or always, I always say, sometimes when you learn about yourself, to learn the truth about yourself, sometimes that can be very painful, because it's like, oh, that's not me, I don't do that. And then it's like, yeah, you really do. You need to, fix that. So we don't want to have assumptions toward other people. We want to make sure that our household is okay before we start trying to say what other people need to do in theirs. Gossip is one of the most hurtful things that people can do. Because the thing about gossip, you can take one little statement, and as a kid, you used to play that game called telephone. I think it was called telephone. And you pass the word over, and then they pass the word, and it becomes something totally different. That's how gossip is. It destroys, it tears up, it hurts people. And it could be one little statement or one little observation, and people can carry that out and just make it ugly, make it big and ugly. And the thing about gossip always gets back to the person that's being gossiped about. It always gets back. It just do. So you have to be careful. And then you're talking about someone that may be going through something, and the reason you see something in them that you don't agree with, and you don't know, but you really don't know the reason why they're going through it. So we need to know what's happening in order for us to actually even have an assumption. You probably need more information. So it's not a good thing to gossip. And that's not really what I'm talking about today, but it's a part of it, So we have to look at ourselves and see what's going on with us. I'm not talking about the physical appearance or anything like that. What's your motive? What's going on? Because that's what Yah judges of. He judges our heart. And the things that come out of our heart. What is the motive behind the talk? And pride comes in, and all the haughtiness and all the other stuff comes in. And sometimes we carry that over into our conversations. and we're talking about someone in a way that they don't deserve it. They just don't deserve it. I mean, if we are true believers, we are our brother's keepers. And so we are going to help one another be better. We're going to help one another achieve the things that they're trying to achieve. And if there's something that you know that I don't know, then you can help me get better. There was a situation in a family, a friend of our family's, happened years ago, and she had a lot of boys and this one girl, and every time you would see her, the girl's hair was just unkept. It was, the parts were crooked. She had one ponytail going this way, one going that way. It was just, you would look and say, oh, what's going on there? And so it was a person in our family volunteered to comb the girl's hair every 3 weeks. So she was putting braids in her hair. And the mother was so pleased with that and was so grateful that she just stepped up and asked her, could she do that? She asked her, can I comb her hair and keep it up and whatever? I'm learning how to braid, so that'll be a perfect, a perfect agreement. She's learning and she could use her as her model and what have you. And so it went from that until she started paying her to actually keep her hair up. And then the mom just confessed. She said, I have all these boys. I just do not know. And the girl was the baby. She said, I just do not know what to do with her hair. She said, I try, but I just do not know what to do with this. And so that's the situation. But other people were talking about her, talking about how she wasn't keeping the child up, how the boys looked one way and the little girl looked all raggedy and by the head. And people, they said all kinds of stuff. But it was only one person that stepped up and said, let me help you. And that's what it's all about. And it's we help one another. And so first of all, we have to make sure that we're okay. We are not, when he says to love everyone, even your enemy, that means that you have to, first of all, be a lovable person. And you can't just be that person that said, I'm a realist, I just say it like I see it and I'll do this and whatever. I just speak my mind and whatever. But sometimes you speaking your mind might destroy another person. So if there's anything in us that shouldn't be, anything in us that he needs to correct or that he can help us, first thing that we have to do when he shows us ourselves, this is part of my prayer. I ask him to show me me. Show me who I am. Show me who I'm supposed to be. Show me through his eyes, not through the eyes of others. And when he tells me about things that I need to get rid of in my life, I don't argue about it. There have been times I said, no, that's not me. I love everybody. And then he starts showing me the people that I had issues with. So when he show you yourself, take heed. Take heed. Change it. If you can't change it, ask him for help to change it. Talk to the people that are around you. If somebody keeps telling you you don't have compassion, ask the people closest to you that you trust. Ask them if they're not scared to approach you, because some people are afraid to even ask questions because some people just go off. If you're a person that can't, you're mad all the time, or if somebody say a little something to you, you fly off and act crazy and start telling people all pouting and going on. That's an area you need some help in. So we can ask y'all, how do I help myself? And you can ask the people around you that I said you love and you trust, what can I do to be better? Or, check me on that. When I start going off, say something, ring a bell, do something to help me get better. Because we don't want to be the person that will hurt another person. We don't want to be the person that would make another person feel less than. And we don't want to be the person that is so angry and bitter that people can't even be around you or deal with you because you're mad all the time. So we have to do some self-evaluation. Look within our own hearts, look within ourselves, and see what needs to be fixed. See if we can change some things. Sometimes we are true believers, and we want to do everything that please God. And sometimes we can't please Him using the weapons of the enemy. We can't, with the attitudes and bad behavior, wicked thinking, just being evil sometime in the way we treat others. I'm going to treat you nice, but I'm going to treat you with love and kindness and what have you. We can't do that. He tells us to even love our enemies, those people that come against us, those people that don't have any good thing to say about us. And sometimes family members or close members or close people that you're close to, can act like enemies. But we're not, like I said before, we're not accountable of how we treat people, how people treat us. But we are accountable of how we treat others. So, take some time out. In my daily prayer, there's two things I always do. I ask Him to show me, and I ask Him to give me wisdom. Because we are dealing with, we have to interact with one another. We're not here on our own. Sometimes I just want to shut certain people off because they have been cruel. They have said things. They have scandalized my name and ran all over the place and said all kinds of stuff. But then He comes back and says, yeah, you have to love everybody. In spite of what they're doing, in spite of what they're saying, you have to love them too. And you have to be forgiving. And so because He forgives us all the time. Every time I'm talking, it's like cotton in my mouth. But I just want to say that, and that's pretty much it. I just want everyone to, get along, love one another, pray for one another, sincerely praying for one another. You can't pray for people if you angry and got an attitude toward them, or you think that you have bad thoughts toward them. You might say, I'm praying because that's what God wants me to do. No, He wants us to be who He says He wants us to be. He wants us to operate in the fruit of the Spirit. And He wants us to love people with a sincere love. I hope this helps someone. I hope you have a great day. Thank you for listening.